So we will continue with the gross features of the medulla. So we know that a medulla, it is having a lower closed part and an above open part because of the pontine flexure in the intrauterine life and the neural tube, right? And the olivary nucleus, the arcuate nucleus, the pontobulbar bodies, these are the displaced pontine nucleus arising from the alar plate of the neural tube. Now the various fissures in the sulci, this is the ventral aspect, this one is the dorsal aspect. So on the ventral aspect, we have an anterior median fissure. On the posterior aspect, we have posterior median sulcus, which are the upward continuation of the corresponding structures of the spinal cord. Then we have an anterolateral sulcus and we have a posterolateral sulcus. The anterolateral sulcus is intervening between a swelling which is known as pyramid. On both the sides of the anterior median fissure, we have swelling pyramids. So between the pyramid and there is another swelling which is known as olive. We have anterolateral sulcus corresponding to the ventral roots of the spinal nerve. The hypoglossal nerve rootlets will arise from the anterolateral sulcus. Then behind the olive and the tuber cinereum, we have the posterolateral sulcus, which is giving rise to the rootlets of 9th, 10th, and the 11th cranial nerves. Now, this one is the posterior aspect. Over here, you can see this one is the posterior median fissure. There are two swellings on both the sides of the posterior median sulcus. These are the clava, or you can say this is produced by the, over here you can have a better look, the nucleus gracilis on the medial side and the nucleus cuneatus on the lateral side. Lateral to it on the dorsal aspect, you can see this one is another swelling which is tuberculum cinereum, underneath which will we have the spinal nucleus of the trigeminal nerve. So firstly, the elevations on the ventral aspect. So you have got two elevations on the ventral aspect. One is the pyramid, another, these are the pyramid, and lateral to it are the olives. So firstly, the region between the anterior median sulcus and the anterolateral sulcus is known as the pyramids. And pyramid is produced by the corticospinal fibers. Now there are three types of fibers which is arising from the cerebral hemisphere: the corticospinal fibers, the corticopontine, and the corticobulbar or the corticonuclear fibers. Now the corticopontine fibers will end in the pons, right? Then corticospinal fibers will traverse through the pons. They will assemble over here in the pyramids and then they will decussate. So over here you can see these fibers. These are the decussation or the crossing of the, these are the decussation, pyramidal decussation of the pyramidal fibers or the corticospinal fibers. Then is the corticonuclear fibers, some of which they are terminating in the nuclei of the pons. Then other they are terminating in the cranial nerve nuclei, or they are terminating into the arcuate nuclei or on the inferior olivary nuclei, since they are the displaced pontine nuclei. So we have corticopontine ending in the pons, corticospinal proceeding over here in the medulla, which will be going into the spinal cord, and the corticonuclear fibers, right? Then the decussation of the pyramid. So some of these fibers, they will cross from one to another side. Over here, you can see these were the decussation. So over here, you can see this one is the decussation of the pyramids. They will, so because of the decussation, this anterior median fissure will be obliterated over here. Then the anterior external arcuate fibers. But some of the fibers, they will emerge from the anterior median fissure above the decussation, somewhat ever at this level, and they will wind around the lateral aspect of the medulla, and it will join the inferior cerebellar peduncle, and they will relay into the cerebellar hemispheres. So these are the anterior external arcuate fibers. So what are the anterior external arcuate fibers? Fibers arising from the pyramids, but they are not decussating over there. They will wind around the lateral aspect of the medulla. They will join the inferior cerebellar peduncle to relay into the cerebellar hemisphere. So these are the anterior external arcuate fibers. Then what are the olives? In the upper part of the medulla, The region between the anterolateral sulcus and the posterolateral sulcus is occupied by a prominent oval swelling which is known as olive. Now olives, they are produced by large masses of the gray matter which is known as the inferior olivary nuclear complex. Since it is a group of nuclei, so inferior olivary nuclear complex, and these are the displaced pontine nuclei. So these are the olives. Now this one is the dorsal aspect of the medulla. So over here we will get two swellings. One is the clava, which is constituting tuberculum gracile and the cuneatus, and the tuberculum cinereum occupied by the spinal nucleus of the trigeminal nerve. This one is the opened up part. These are the stria medullaris. The lower part is, since it is representing the tip of the pen, so it is known as calamus scriptorius. Now, various tracts and fasciculus, which is going to be the part of the medulla, they are in the posterior part of the medulla between the posterior median sulcus and the posterolateral sulcus. It is having a region which is corresponding to the posterior funiculus of the spinal cord. So these areas, they are occupied by the fasciculus gracilis on the medial side and the fasciculus cuneatus lying on its lateral side, right? The fasciculus cuneatus will give a rounded swelling known as nucleus cuneatus, whereas the fasciculus gracilis, where it will be terminating, the gray matter over here will form a tubercle, so that is gracile tubercle, nucleus cuneatus. So the elevations produced are the tubercles, and the gray matter over where they will be terminating are the nucleus cuneatus and the gracilis, and the elevations produced are the tuberculum cuneatus and the gracilis respectively. Cuneatus being on the lateral side, gracilis being on the medial side. Then various fossa on the dorsal aspect. You will find the fossa. So just above these tubercles, you will see the posterior aspect of the medulla. It is occupied by a triangular fossa. I told you the stria medullaris. These are the group of horizontal fibers which will divide this floor of the fourth ventricle into an cranial part and a caudal part. This caudal part is triangular in shape. Now further with the anterior median fissure, it is dividing it into two equal halves. So you will see on the medial side of this is the hypoglossal triangle. Beneath it will be a group of hypoglossal nuclei. Then on lateral to it, just medial to the inferior cerebellar peduncle will be our vestibular area. Underneath will be the our vestibular nuclei. Then just lateral, that is between the vestibular part and the hypoglossal triangle, we have the vagal triangle. Now there is a funiculus separatus which is dividing again this vagal triangle into an inferolateral part and a dorsomedial part, right? So this inferolateral part is known as area postrema, right? So in the fossa, we have a vestibular area laterally, a hypoglossal triangle medially. Then between these two areas, we have intervening our vagal triangle. Now, one more thing, this anterior median fissure over here, it will be forming foramen cecum, right? And there is a sulcus known as sulcus limitans, which is separating this vestibular area from this hypoglossal triangle. And over here, this one is the sulcus limitans. And beneath it, over here, this will end into an inferior fovea. So we have inferior fovea and we have foramen cecum. Over here, you can have a better look. So this area is the area postrema. Then is the tuberculum cinereum. So in the lower part of the medulla, immediately lateral to this fasciculus cuneatus is another longitudinal elevation which is known as tuberculum cinereum. And this elevation is produced by an underlying collection of the gray matter which is called the spinal nucleus of the trigeminal nerve. Now the gray matter of this nucleus, it is covered by spinal tract of the trigeminal nerve. So over here you can see this one is the tuberculum cynarium, and this is covering the spinal nucleus of the trigeminal nerve. So underneath it will be the gray matter that is corresponding to the spinal nucleus of the trigeminal nerve. Now, firstly, we'll start with the internal features. So, transverse section at the level of the pyramids. So, over here you can see these are the swelling, which is the pyramids. Now, here will be the termination of the corticospinal tracts. Now, over from here, not termination, here it is produced by the corticospinal tracts, assembling of the corticospinal tracts over here. So it will produce a bulging. They are known as pyramids. Now from here, the fibers, they are proceeding dorsally and laterally. So dorsolaterally. So because of this precedence or the decussation of the pyramid fibers, they will divide the gray column into a ventral column and a central gray column.